Hey, how's it going? This is Augustus on Ask a Wise Guy, and I'm about to get wise with you. Now, before we get started, there's this topic that just kept coming up from Google searches, from my followers. This is a real big deal, and even aside from this topic alone, other people would have other questions, and this topic was actually the answer to a lot of their questions. So that topic being how to be wise. How to be wise. Now, before I get started, what I'm going to do is start you guys off with a couple of proverbs from a book that I'm working on called Proverbs of Wisdom. All right, and I have no release date on that yet. This one it's going to be a doozy. I'm going to be working on it for a while. So, but here we go. Verse 1. Life is simple for the complicated, but those of a simple mind tend to complicate things. Those with unreal mentors have unreal shoes to fill. Those with realistic mentors are given a shortcut to where they were already going. The most efficient way for a man to succeed in his art is to make himself easy to understand to his wife. The fool thinks there is never anyone looking, when the wise live as if there is always someone looking. The fool thinks he's getting away with folly, when the wise knows that he is only getting by. Alright? Now I know you're probably sitting back saying, alright, look, Augustus, that's too much. What is that? Alright, well, give me a second. Let me go ahead and break this down for you. Now, verse 1, life is simple for the complicated, but those of a simple mind tend to complicate things. Life is simple for the complicated, but those of a simple mind tend to complicate things. What this means is essentially, if you've ever went to a restaurant or a store, and if you ever notice all of the different types of people that would walk in and walk out and get whatever they need and then leave, you'll notice a pattern. Now, that pattern is usually between two extremes. You have the one on one side that they walk in and they literally walk right out. I mean, they get what they want quickly. Then you have the other side, which they'll shop for a cool minute, and they'll come out with stuff that they weren't even intending on getting. If they had a list, it'd be hard to tell, and they're just there. Now, if you think about it, the first one seems simple because, he knows what he wants. He just goes in there and he goes straight out, right? But the reason why he knows exactly what he wants is because before he even hopped in the car, he said to himself, what do I want? How do I want it? When do I want to get it? Where do I want to get it from? And he plays this in his mind until he gets to the store and bam, he makes it happen. Now, the other guy on the other hand, this is mainly a big deal when it comes with women. Women do this a lot when it comes to shopping. But there's some dudes out there that carry this characteristic, and what they'll do is they'll sit in the car, and if they think about what they want to get, they'll say, I'll figure it out once I get there. That, my friend, is a complicated person. Because anyone that, excuse me, anyone that says, you know what, I don't need the details now, but once I get there, we'll figure it out. Pertaining to a art that you do, you know, if you're a fireman and you say, we'll figure it out once we get there. You're a police officer, you say, we'll figure it out once we get there. And this is what you do, that's understandable. But for you to say that about everything in life, that makes you a very simple person. And life gets complicated when you're that simple. You always want to be a little complicated when it comes to figuring things out. Because in the end, you're going to get exactly what you want most of the times. Alright? So, just to go over that one more time, life is simple for the complicated, but those of a simple mind tend to complicate things. Alright? Kind of sound like I have a cold. So verse 2, those with unreal mentors have unreal shoes to fill. Those with realistic mentors are given a shortcut to where they were already going. Now, you could put that on paper and it'll check out every time. Every time. Because I'll put it like this: say you have a man that grew up around nothing but homeless men, but his father passed down his fortunes to him, and this man is actually worth $128 million. Now, with his father inheriting that, and given that his father didn't teach him what to do with it, didn't show him the ropes, anything, but he grew up around homeless men, or just homeless people, period. Well, guess what? Guess what's going to happen with that $128 million? See, but then you can have a homeless man that grew up around people that grossed, you know, 128 million easily, right? Which one of these guys do you think is going to be more successful when it comes to the money that they have? Which one do you think will be wiser when it came to dealing with the money? See, so it's all about it's all about vision. Wisdom is about vision. I'm kind of going on the side with this, but you have to have vision if you're going to successfully use wisdom in your life. See, and if anyone that has a mentor, they have a shortcut, period. A mentor is a shortcut in life. That's one of your only shortcuts. Everything else you gotta work very hard at and figure everything out on your own or by studies. But a mentor, that's a shortcut. But it's not just good enough to have a mentor. You want to have one that's unreal. Alright? So, those with unreal mentors have unreal shoes to fill. Those with realistic mentors are given a shortcut to where they were already going. Verse 3, the most efficient way for a man to succeed in his art is to make himself easy to understand to his wife. And I'm definitely repeating that one. The most efficient way for a man to succeed in his art is to make himself easy to understand to his wife. Now, I know that this sounds like something that would apply to a perfect world. And I know that things are different these days when it comes to marriage and relationships. But just tighten your seatbelt for this one. What what's going on right now with marriages, divorce rates is very pitiful, very despicable, and I'm honestly I'm not too proud of what I'm seeing in terms of relationships and marriages and divorces and everything in this arena at this moment. But there are a couple of people out there that knows how to take themselves out of the status quo, if you will. And this is what this proverb pertains to. First of all, before you even consider this proverb, you will have to understand that you can't live a life that is kind of, how can I put it? It's like someone, like a kid sitting in a wagon, being pulled along by another kid, right? Now, if this kid is their big brother, right? Well, that's not so bad to be sitting in that wagon as a kid. But say if that's their knucklehead friend, right? And their friend, forgive me for this, only got one leg and one arm. That's not going to be the wisest ride to take. You really don't want to be in that wagon. That's not going to be too profitable. So what's going on here is you want to take yourself out of whatever is going on. But to get into that proverb, say Harvey Specter on Suits, right? Now, I'm not going to spoil anything. I don't know how far you are in the series if you watch Suits, but Harvey and Donna, to the ideal mind, to the ideal eye, that's a match made in heaven. They hook up, that's a good couple. So let's say if Harvey comes home to Donna and he takes his coat off, says, "Hey babe," whatever he was saying to her, right? And he just tells her about work. Well, that's good. That's good. She, but imagine if he came home and he told her about work. He told her about what he needs from her and what will make life better for him if she were to comply. Imagine how much more efficient his work would be. Imagine how much quicker he would reach success in all walks of life, not just, his job, but all walks of life. And I would hate to be on the other side of that courtroom if I was a lawyer fighting against him. I just wouldn't want to do it. So when a man makes himself easy to understand to his wife, this is what we're looking at. This is what they mean when they say that, but behind a successful man is a good woman. That's what this means. All right. So So, verse 3, the most efficient way for a man to succeed in his art is to make himself easy to understand to his wife. Alright, verse 4. The fool thinks there is never anyone looking, when the wise live as if there was always someone looking. The fool thinks there is never anyone looking, when the wise live as if there is always someone looking. Now, we all know these people, these kind of people, where they'll say stuff, they'll just blurt stuff out without even thinking, as if no one else is around, as if no one else could hear, right? Then you have those where you could hardly ever get any words out of them. I mean, some of them, you know, there's some out there that are just good for a couple of sentences, right? The difference between the two is, initially, you know, ideally, one believes that they could say whatever they feel. They're just entitled to say what they feel, to say what's on their mind. They believe that they have the right to do this, right? But the other believes that if they're thinking something, if they feel a certain way, that doesn't justify them to just say it. They believe that if they speak, it needs to be something that has to be heard. Now, of course, you know, I'm bringing two extremes, you know, on, you know, just putting this on the table. But aside from all of the misinterpretations, when someone believes that they can say whatever they want, you have a person that doesn't understand how life works. You have a person that doesn't understand how speaking and communication works. Get this. You have a person that doesn't understand how to be courteous to other people's feelings. Now, there's lots of people out there like this. I'm not saying that anyone that speaks their mind is a bad guy or bad girl, but it's very important to understand that if other people are around, think about what you say. Think about that. And that doesn't just stop at what you say. It goes into what you do, how you act, how you carry yourself, who you see in some instances. But the wise, they do everything in their life. They live life as if someone is always watching intensely. And they make it their duty not to make a fool of themselves. Because how many of you know that you could be a wise person but still make a fool out of yourself? See? So that's the gist of that. The fool thinks there is never anyone looking, when the wise live as if there is always someone looking. Alright? I don't know about you, but I'm getting a little turned right now. Talking about this wisdom, this is what I live for. Wisdom. God and wisdom. That's what I live for. And Chipotle. Verse 5. The fool thinks he's getting away with folly, when the wise knows that he is only getting burned. The fool thinks he's getting away with folly, when the wise knows that he is only getting by. Folly meaning stupidity or ignorance, right? Or even malice, right? But this verse kind of piggybacks on verse 4, but it's very essential. I mean, I couldn't stress this enough. I don't think anyone can stress this topic enough. When a person, when I'll put it like this: it takes a fool to do a crime, get caught for the crime, do 5 to 10 years for that crime, get released, and then get sent back to jail for doing the same crime within 5 to 10 months. It takes a fool to do such a thing. But guess what? The reason why that would be so common of a decision, I'm not going to say a mistake, because that was a clear decision, but the reason why decisions like that are so common is because people think they're getting away with their crap. They think that they're getting away with their malice, with their stupidity. They think that no one's looking, and then B, to take it a step higher, they think that they're getting away with it. But the wise understand that they're only getting by. They understand that whatever they do, their selves, it better be good, because there's going to be some kind of return for it. One of my favorite vines is it's an older one, but it was hysterical when I first seen it. The I'm grown kid, right? Kid is like 4, maybe I'll give him 5. He acts like he's 30, but the kid's 5, yelling at his parents, talking about, I'm the daddy, I'm grown. How many of you know that those parents invested some stuff into that child for him to carry himself in such a way? I mean, he's a baby, and that's very early on. So for a baby to pick up something like that, this has to be all this child knows. It's an investment. And I pray for the kid, but if there's not some better investment being made into this kid by the time he gets older, how many of you know that that's gonna be he's gonna give back a bad return? See, so and those parents would definitely get a bad return. They don't change. They don't switch it up. So this is just a side note, but don't ever do anything that you know that you shouldn't be doing. Never. Wisdom is life. Wisdom is, if you have a money problem, I've heard a couple of people say, there's no such thing as a money problem, there's a wisdom problem. If you don't know what to do with the little money that you have, how are you going to gain more? There's this new track on this Rick Ross album, and Rick Ross, I really don't know about his street cred, and actually I don't think anybody does, but at the end of the day, I like his music, and this one song, they say, how does it go? They say, spin that grip, spin that grip, spin that grip. Spin that grip, spin the check and get it right back. Spin the check and get it right back. That's fly. I like that, because that's a principle in life that you could apply to anything. So that's verse 5. The fool thinks he's getting away with folly, when the wise knows that he's only getting by. Alright, so I'm gonna go ahead and leave you with that. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and stay wise.